welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
All right, we got Gino texting, who cares?
They can't see me.
He's apologizing
They
already.
can't see me on the radio. Why you got to give me up, man?
That's the point is, we have this on video.
See how I teed you up and invited you to donandgino.com.
There we go. See, Gino's figured this out now. donandgino.com. We have this live streaming, plus we have all our videos on YouTube. Over 2,000 videos between this and the National Real Estate Cafe. And if you go to nrecafe.com, what's nice is you can actually get our daily videos about what's really happening in the real estate and financial world. Just a 2 to 4 minute blog, usually beating up the media because they don't know what they're talking about. We give you real facts, real numbers, not just two talking heads. Again, nrecafe.com, or they can get sent right to your phone, no spam, every day by texting NREC to the number 58885. That's NREC to the number 58885. And you get this great information. So speaking of great information, Jim, you always come with great information. Jim Reape with Reape Rickett Law Firm, #1 divorce attorney in town by far. And we were talking about what to do before divorce. And you went over basically gather up as much documentation as possible and information possible.
Yeah,
assets and income and possessions and all that type of stuff. And then you mentioned, and then once you gather up as much as you can, you're still contemplating it, they should talk to somebody like you.
Right, because the question, there's usually two things that they're interested in. What is the process like, and what does the outcome look like? And if you can bring in enough where I can see the respective incomes, and particularly with pay stubs, so I can, really hammer down into like some support calculations. I can tell you, well, if you're going to separate, this is how much you would pay, or this is how much you would receive, if anything, depending upon the disparity of the incomes and whether or not there's children.
That could be a
and what
determining
they're-
factor.
So it's just you might say for that much I'll stay together.
Cheaper to keep her.
Yeah. Well, I got to
Yeah.
tell you that I've seen the other side of that where one spouse thought they were going to get a fortune, and they finished the whole process. She got zero, not $1 a month.
I oftentimes, when the economy was in the tank last, I don't know how many people I would meet with, and I would go through the process, and I would look at what their monthly net spendable income was going to be if they were to separate, and then I'd ask them, like, is there any domestic violence in the household? No, we just don't get along. I said, you really need to think about going home, because your alternative is you may literally be on the streets.
Because there's
just
nothing
not
left
enough money.
of the net, because they may be, even if their
Because
lifestyle
it's got
could
to
be
be
on debt.
disposable income. I mean, you've got to
Right.
figure there's got to be a housing expense built into the calculation somehow. There's got to be something.
Well, no, actually, our calculations are based on defining net. The only special
Exemption.
would be the desire of the state of California that people have health insurance. So that's considered a priority expense, and we take the cost of the health insurance straight off your net, even though that's not really a tax type thing. Everything else, we're looking just for tax deductions so that we can accurately determine your net. And then I can go ahead and calculate the support, and my program will tell me what your net spendable income is after either the payment of support or the receipt of the support. And then from there, you have an idea, okay, budget-wise, what can I do? Then we turn to the assets and debts. And it's not that complicated. First, we have to determine whether or not it's community, and
Right.
whether or not some exceptions to community exist, such as, a gift or inheritance that's received and how traceable that is, how much was it, where'd it go, what was done with it, did you bring assets into the marriage, separate property, how are things held? Are you one of those nuts that signed a quitclaim deed because your credit wasn't necessarily
How
good?
valuable is that? I mean,
Well-
I keep telling people. I see people do that all the time. I'm like, that's not good enough, guys.
Well, it depends. We have cases that have gone both ways with it, and the problem with it to begin with is that spouses are fiduciary, so it's the highest duty that's known under the law to be open and fair and honest. So when somebody gains an advantage without any visible consideration for it. So like I'm signing this quitclaim deed, so I'm disavowing any interest in this property.
For why? Right? Because I don't
well,
qualify
to-
for the
to-
loan we're trying to get? I mean, that's what happens most of the
Well,
time.
that's the story that I'm always told. But
By the way, that's bad lending because you could
Yeah.
you could keep both people on title and do the loan in one name.
There you
So
go.
that's just bad lending.
right,
That's all
yeah.
that is.
And so the ramifications of them doing this, it creates an issue where you didn't have to have an issue. And we start with, since there's no consideration, so there's no money changing hands for the signature on the quitclaim, we presumed that it was obtained by undue influence, so that it's not enforceable.
Out of convenience.
But there
yeah.
may be, like I was looking at a case earlier this week, where a very sophisticated guy, this house had been transferred more times than a whore in a brothel. It had been flipped in names and here, every which one. And the last one, 2014, a year before he separates from wife, he executes a quitclaim deed because he wasn't working and his credit wasn't good and they were refinancing. In that situation, he knew full well what was going on. So if that evidence gets played out in court, he's probably going to be stuck with, you knowingly, voluntarily, and willingly disavowed any interest in the house in 2014.
And you can't claim ignorance because it's apparent you know what you're doing.
By the number of transactions that property had gone through with these people, he knew exactly what he was doing.
All right. So we only have a little bit of time left. Again, great information, again, from Jim Reape Rickett Law Firm, right down the street from us.
Yep.
Yeah, just a stone's throw away.
Right off the freeway there in Valencia. Just a great firm. Your people have been wonderful. All the people
Thank
that
you.
assisted me with mine. You were wonderful in truly walking me down the steps.
The other attorneys that we've had on the shows as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, over the years we've had a lot of
from your
attorneys from the
office
firm.
have been great and very educational. And they seem to. What's cool is what a lot of people don't think that an attorney firm can care. You guys all do. You're good people. You actually look out for the best interests of everybody. So kudos to you running such a great ship,
Thank
because
you.
that starts
Thank
with
you.
the head of the ship down. Because I know here at Skyline, Gino and I work really hard to make sure that, and we talked about it yesterday at our meeting, it's imperative how you talk to everybody, and not just our clients, but also each other and our partners. We have to make a difference, and we have to be different from everyone else by truly caring, and it
Right.
only comes across if you truly do care. If you don't, you will not be here. Plain and simple.
Good. Neither in my shop.
All right, how do they get a hold of you?
DivorceDigest.com. The telephone number is 661-288-1000. Easy enough.
All right, so if you need
288-1000. I like it.
yeah, see, it's pretty easy.
I can remember now in the middle of the night.
Well, again, as we close, if you need qualified, great advice that I can attest to, Jim Reape is a good dude, and he's going to send you down the right path or give you advice that may help you make an educated or an informed decision on probably one of the biggest decisions of your life. So reach out to Jim Reape. Good stuff. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you,
for
friends.
your friendship and everything else. And
Welcome.
we'll see you December 5th.
You will.
For our big
You will.
holiday
I'm
gala.
in town.
All right, thank you for being part of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. You can find out more at donandgino.com. We love you being part of our show every week for 7.5 years now. So therefore, we wish you a great weekend.